Hey everybody, it's me, CNB, and today I am back with another ASMR video. Today I am bringing you guys another finance video. I have been doing a lot of research over the last 3 months into NFTs, and if you don't know about NFTs, they stand for non-fungible tokens, I believe. Non-fungible tokens. And they basically are online items that cannot be duplicated, it cannot be replicated. They are unique digitally to whatever it may be. So the way that I think about it is, I heard someone explain it to me, or explain it to the internet, saying that, you buy all these things for your house, you buy nice furniture, you buy a nice light in the background, you buy a TV for your house. Well, nobody online can see those things. So NFTs are almost a way of buying online stuff. Cool stuff that you can kind of collect. That's at least my understanding of it. If you guys have a better understanding of NFTs, let me know in the comment section down below. Matter of fact, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button for me. I do ASMR gaming videos, but every now and then I do some of these finance videos, and just a heads up, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing what I have done in my, my strategy as far as investing, and hope that you guys can at least enjoy this video. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, I already said that. If you are subscribed, make sure you hit that like button before you sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, here we have the CryptoZoo official white paper, and this is basically where you can go and learn about CryptoZoo. And right off the bat, I want to go ahead and fully disclose that this project was started by none other than the social media king himself, Logan Paul, and that is obviously how I came to learn about CryptoZoo. And once I did start doing my own research, I was quickly hooked. So I just don't want you guys to think that the only reason that I'm invested into this is because it's Logan Paul. While that is how I heard about it, I definitely would consider everybody to do their own research, and that's kind of why I'm doing this video, because I've read a lot of the white paper. I haven't read the entire white paper in its entirety, so we'll go through it all, and I think I know all the high points, but I might learn something today by reading this entire white paper out loud and to you guys. So that being said, let's go ahead and look at the introduction. So the introduction: CryptoZoo is an autonomous ecosystem where users can collect, breed, and trade exotic animal hybrids on the blockchain. Each animal is a non-fungible token. Like all NFTs, these digital assets are indivisible and are defined by their immutable scarcity. So, CryptoZoo features an open source SDK for third parties, which allows community developers to build on top of or in parallel to the CryptoZoo ecosystem. This allows for various tools and experiences to be built in the realm of CryptoZoo. Although CryptoZoo may appear to be solely function as a game, it's much more. CryptoZoo allows users to earn zoo tokens that are openly traded via a yield that is based on the rarity of any given animal NFT, allowing community members to both collect and earn some hybrid Some hybrids are able to yield 64,500 zoo per day. which that is, so Zoo is the crypto behind the game that fuels the game, and we'll get into that later. But let me take a sip of coffee. Alright, so next. The rest of this is kind of not important. RY, the reason for CryptoZoo. CryptoZoo was developed as a way to introduce blockchain technology, specifically NFTs, to new market participants by combining the proven success of gamified animal ownership with the anticipatory optimism of collecting trading cards. We wanted to create a seamless platform for users to enter a double-sided world of crypto, bridging both tokens and NFTs. CryptoZoo is poised to provide practical and sustainable NFT technology to the masses. Further, CryptoZoo builds on the traditional NFT model of uniqueness and scarcity that offer players the opportunity for potential lucrative rewards. The Zoo theme is core fundamentally to a vibrant ecosystem whose value is driven by community participation. While the Zoo token currently lives in a game economy, it is our goal to merge both the digital and the physical worlds, where users' utility of Zoo can be yielded in many other aspects of gaming and commerce, is in something we like to call life play. The world is a zoo, and CryptoZoo symbiotically connects binary actions to a wide variety of real-world benefits. Let the games begin. Ground Zero. Now, this has already taken place, but at launch, 10,000 first-generation base eggs will be stored in a smart contract on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain BSC. These base eggs will be distributed in exchange for ETH, WETH, DAI, USDC, BNB, or Zoo tokens for a 10% discount. This is what we call an egg drop. Egg drops will be announced prior to drop day. And I will say that they already had this 10,000 base egg drop. And while it was a little messy, they sold out in minutes. Absolutely minutes. Anyways. Almost seconds, actually. Not even minutes. Egg rarity. Each base egg, I don't know why I said animal, each base egg may be held unhatched for sale at auction or immediately hatched to reveal a base animal. The NFT animal hatched from a base egg is determined by blockchain-based probability factor. So each egg has the same probability of hatching an animal with any given rarity. Eggs will hatch animals grouped by different rarity tiers. So the base eggs can be hatched to reveal a base animal. First generation base eggs will hatch animals grouped by the following rarity tiers: common, uncommon, rare, super rare, and epic. This is funny because this is basically just like any video game ever. You know, you got your common weapons, which are gray, you know, your uncommon that are green, rare, blue, super rare, purple, epic, orange, you know. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Base eggs will always yield a base animal, which will yield Zoo tokens via the NFT. Hybrid eggs are the result of breeding mechanism. Two base animals can be bred together to create a hybrid egg. These eggs will hatch a hybrid animal, which is often strangely beautiful or even comical combination of the two parent animals. Keep in mind the same combination of parent animals isn't limited to one hybrid offspring. In fact, it may result in one of several variations. For example, the merging of an elephant plus a panda may yield the following, along with 3 others. So it's not the same every single time. Yields in Zoo. Yielding and earning Zoo tokens. Hatched animals immediately yield Zoo tokens at the rate determined by rarity and some additional undisclosed factors nestled confidently in our algorithm. The yield indicates a number of zoo tokens which will be allocated to the animal's owner daily. These yields are infused into the NFT, and the NFT will accrue more and more zoo tokens as time goes by. In order for a zookeeper to retrieve the yielded zoo tokens, they must release their animal back into the wild. This will effectively burn the NFT. Once an animal is released, it is gone forever and can never be owned by another zookeeper, begging the question, who will own the hybrid animal with the most valuable accrued yield? And who will be the last to release it, if ever? For example, a butterfly which is basic common animal has a yield of 100, meaning that one butterfly will contribute 100 zoo tokens to its owner each day. After 30 days, the butterfly would accrue 3,000 zoo tokens. At this point, if the owner decides to release said animal, the accrued yield of 3,000 zoo is sent to the wallet that previously owned the butterfly. Breeding. So right off the bat, this yield is a big deal. And you would think that, a yield, an NFT that creates a yield is going to just add to the supply. And that's what I thought initially. But if we go to breeding and some of these tokenomics later on, it'll kind of answer some questions. So, breeding. What I'm trying to say is, make sure you watch to the end of this video if you're interested in the project, because in my mind, this is a no-brainer. Breeding. Two base animals can be crossed to produce a hybrid animal that is a combination of its parents. A hybrid animal is more rare and produces more yield than the sum of its parents. The yield of a hybrid animal is inherited from its parents, but it's provided an additional boost determined by the rarity of both parents. Hybrid animals can be produced by mating two base animals for a fixed breeding fee. And I'm not sure how much that breeding fee is going to be. But I have a ton of zoo, and I'm currently looking to buy an egg. The eggs are all unhatched right now. None of the eggs have been hatched, but they're going to be hatched very soon. I think in November 3rd, I believe, is the hatch date, which is when the game is going to be fully released to the public, and you will be able to hatch your eggs. But as of right now, the eggs are all unhatched. So, here you have a butterfly and a gorilla. 500 zoo per day, 100 zoo per day. They breed, they have an egg, and you can have a butteria, an ape fly, or an ape fly, and there's two uncommons and a super rare. Base animals can be bred up to 7 times, with increasing cooldowns that are dependent on the amount of times the base animal has already been bred. After 7 times, the base animal becomes sterile and can no longer be bred. Additionally, once an animal becomes sterile, the zookeeper will lose the base animal, and the NFT will be released into the wild and accordingly burned. You will receive your animal's yield here as well. Auction house. An auction house with bid and ask functionality will be built into the game from its inception. Both eggs and unhatched animals will be traded on the auction house, which will allow zookeepers to sell and trade in numerous ways. Animals sold at auction will still have their yield and therefore do not distribute their yield to the original zookeeper upon sale. Both the animals and all of its accrued yield will be transferred to the buyer. An animal's yield is carried between ownership transfers and is never realized by an owner until the animal is released into the wild. This creates another layer of game functionality as CryptoZoo players will drive the activity of this secondary auction market. So if you have an ape fly that you've had for a couple months, it's going to have a bunch of zoo attached to that. So the longer you hold a animal, the more value it accrues, and then you can sell the animal and all of the zoo that is attached to that animal on the auction house for, I'm assuming, just zoo. So That's interesting. That actually makes me want to buy more eggs. Or a egg. Because I don't currently have any, but... Utility. Utility of zoo tokens and NFTs. There are numerous ways for a zoo to be utilized within the ecosystem. In-game transactions are available to players to support additional game functionality and provide further utility to the zoo token. The team will also be constantly adding applications for zoo within the outside of the game to expand on its utility. Being that each animal is an NFT, an animal's associated yield is trackable and can be attributed via the blockchain. This allows the yield and license of the animal to be accrued, traded, or sold. If a specific animal's likeness produces yield via a license or a trademark, a portion of that yield in real world will be distributed back to the specific animal's holder, allowing zookeepers to potentially earn outside of the game. Absolutely incredible. Zoo tokens currently have the following utility. So you use zoo when purchasing eggs, breeding, egg incubation boosts, breeding recovery boosts, and marketplace purchases. So I guess it takes a certain amount of time to hatch an egg, but you can boost that time with zoo, or you can boost the breeding recovery phase with zoo. And that's also really good. That's also really good because of the tokenomics, and I'll show you here in a second. This all sounds great. Once we get to the tokenomics, you will be sold. If you're interested right now, make sure you hit that like button, because we're about to blow your mind with these tokenomics. Our goal is to reward our community and give them as many options for utility as possible. Each animal as an NFT has ownership rights in CryptoZoo that applies to the unique trademarks associated with each NFT. Now, tokenomics. Total zoo tokens, 2 trillion. I believe that's trillion. 0, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. Yes, 2 trillion zoo tokens. There is 1 trillion in game wallet, and there's 1 trillion in circulation right now. 500 billion is available to the public, and 500 billion allocated to development, marketing, and founders. Locked for 6 months for allocation, and after 6 months, 10% of the allocation unlocked per month for next 10 months. The Zoo token was minted on the Binance Smart Chain to avoid the high fees and latency associated with ETH Ethereum transactions recently. The goal was ultimately to provide more accessibility through low fees, but building on BSC introduced other accessibility issues through restrictions on Binance transactions and many provenances, and a prohibitively confusing setup process for new crypto participants. In late August, early September 2021, Zoo was paused and new contract distributed to all holders of the original contract. The new contract will make possible full interoperability and functionality across both Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. And there's the new Zoo address. Utility. Zoo was created as a currency for utility in the game CryptoZoo, an open source ecosystem with a broad array of potential applications. The first of which is a platform for harvesting collectible NFT animals, which can be crossbred to create unimaginable animal hybrids that yield various amounts of Zoo daily, and with the 664,500 Zoo each day. The generous yield accrued by any NFT animal in CryptoZoo can only be collected by allowing the NFT to be burned, thus bringing large quantities of Zoo back into circulation, where ideally the owner will opt to reinvest the collected Zoo into new projects within CryptoZoo. Several opportunities and additional utilities are under development already. Aggressive burning of both Zoo and CryptoZoo NFTs contribute to broadly deflationary economics, which will support additional egg drops and other exciting offerings. Because Zoo was created to support CryptoZoo, and was not intended to be an investment vehicle. The contract doesn't include incentives for liquidity providing. Although the largest holders' wallets are locked for 6 months, there are potentially severe volatility risks that are accompanying low liquidity. So it's on the near-term roadmap to introduce and reward liquidity providers with a high APY governance token, offering voting privileges in-game. Future governance would allow the project to become more decentralized over time and provide holders of the governance token an influential vote on CryptoZoo rules and fees. Yield farming via Zoo staking is also recommended by the team, giving CryptoZoo participants more opportunities to grow their Zoo wallets. Both of these exciting updates will improve the Zoo liquidity pool, allowing CryptoZoo participants to buy and sell Zoo with less impact on the price per token. So, here are the fees. And this was the nail in the coffin for me. So, the following is planned at launch. Zoo revenue from drops: 50% burned, 50% allocated for wildlife charities and CryptoZoo development. So the 50% burned is huge, massive. That means anytime there is any Zoo revenue from the egg drops, half of that is just going to get burnt. It's just going to disappear, which destroys the supply, or brings down the supply of Zoo, which drives up the demand. 5% of fee on transactions in the CryptoZoo marketplace, 2% burned, 3% added to the Zoo liquidity pool. So more, 2% of every fee is burnt. 2.5% fee on the Ethereum BSC bridge swaps allocated to owners. 97.5% of all in-game fees, all paid in Zoo, is burned. The remaining 2.5% of the in-game fees allocated for future game development and funding. So the in-game fees paid in Zoo: breeding $2.50, breeding recovery acceleration from $2.50 to $15 per hour based on rarity, and then egg incubation acceleration is $10, and NFT name change is $2.50. Burning 50% of the Zoo tokens from egg drops and 97.5% of the Zoo used in in-game fees is a creative for all CryptoZoo, NFT, and Zoo holders, rather than just the founders. Balanced fees and governance will perpetuate the decentralization and will iterate towards an increasingly equitable environment for all participants. Basically, what I'm reading is this game rewards long-term holders, because right now there's not even a game, and you can buy Zoo right now through a process of buying Binance tokens and then swapping them for smart contracts and then swapping those for CryptoZoo. And I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to be responsible for I'm not going to talk about the process. You can look up the process yourself and find the process on how to get CryptoZoo tokens, because it's kind of a complicated process. It's not really a complicated process, but it kind of is. I'm not going to get into it because I just don't want to be, I don't want people to be in my comments saying, I tried to buy this and I messed it up and now I don't have any of my Zoo or something. I'm just not going to get into it. But this project seems to me like it rewards long-term holders, and this game hasn't even been launched yet. The game is going to be ready by the end of the year, I believe. The eggs still haven't even been hatched. You can buy the eggs over on OpenSea, which is like a very, very big NFT marketplace. It's basically the auction house for NFTs. And right now they're going for around 0.3 Ethereum, which is around $1,000. So they're very, very, very popular. when they went on sale, the base eggs went on sale for 0.1 Ethereum, and now they're going for 0.3. So definitely in high demand. Definitely in high demand. And as the price of Zoo goes up, so will the price of those eggs, and because each egg gets hatched into an animal, right? So each animal gets the yield of Zoo. So if that Zoo price goes up, the demand for those NFTs are also going to go up. And as the demand for NFTs go up, people are going to be hatching the eggs. Well, what happens when you hatch the eggs? The Zoo that you spend to hatch those eggs gets burnt. And then what happens when you want to breed two animals? You breed two animals with Zoo, and that gets burnt. Everything in game just gets burnt and burnt and burnt and burnt. And I think that it will really reward long-term holders of Zoo, like myself. At least that's what I plan on being. So, that being said, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, comment down below what you think about CryptoZoo. I'm optimistic. I'll say that. I'm still invested in a bunch of stocks. I do want to get an update on that as well. I haven't really done anything different. Over the last 3 to 6 months, I've been investing more heavily into crypto. Ethereum, to be exact, is my #1 holding. I'm almost up to 1 Ethereum, but I have to spend Ethereum to buy these eggs, and I think I want to buy one, at least one. But see, if you buy one, you gotta buy two, right? Because you gotta breed them somehow. I don't know. We'll see. But that being said, guys, leave a like on this video, comment down below, and I will see you all in the next one. So, if you're watching this during the day, then have a relaxing rest of the day. And if you're watching this at night, then have a great night sleep.